On this new episode of WtFun podcast, we meet with producer, actor, and YouTuber Leslie Wong as she shares her journey in producing live events to being a brand new mom. Also catching up with Kimmie, Keisa, and Renee in this new season, new episode, and new beginnings on WtFun podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to WtFun podcast. Here we are, new season. I mean, literally new season. It's fall. Fall just recently kicked in a few days ago. So new season and a new season for WtFun podcast because we are now here with season 3, episode 1. Woo-hoo!
Yay!
Yay! I don't know about y'all, but every time we start a new episode, after my little welcome intro, we tend to go, yay! Yay! So we should count how many times we do that. I'm going to check every episode, just listening for every yay we do.
There's a lot of yays.
Yeah.
It's a pre-recorded yay. Cue the yay.
Yay! Oh my gosh, so much has happened. And yeah, I mean, we've been on hiatus for a couple of months since ending season 2 with our last guest.
Yeah, Robert
Renee. Oh my goodness, his music is freaking awesome.
His videos are really good.
They're really good.
I'm still waiting for him to invite us to go on his tour. I mean,
Robert, call us. We're ready.
I'm sure that's happening soon too.
I know.
He released both of his singles.
Yes.
And they're doing pretty good. And then I think that he has a third one. I feel after that probably will be going on. And some touring fun.
How fun. I love it.
That is awesome. And you know what? You can catch up with Robert if you follow him. If you're not following him yet on Instagram, you can at I'm Robert Renee. Is that correct?
That's
At
it.
Robert Renee. At I'm Robert Renee. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yes. Oh, in addition to a new season, new episode, something new just recently happened to one of us girls here. Keisa, what happened to you a couple of days ago?
I got engaged.
Yay!
Yay!
Hashtag yay!
Maybe it should be hashtag cue the day. Cue the yay.
Cue the yay. Perfect. I love it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Keisa, congratulations. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be engaged?
It feels the same.
Well, I'm sure it's a little different now because it's like, ooh, it's that one step closer to, sealing the deal here.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Sean and I have been together for so long, so it's kind of like, I feel like we're just like,
okay,
doing
well,
it.
You have to tell us. You got to tell us all. How did this happen? Like, what did he do? Set the scene. Tell us how he proposed to you.
It's like not like that exciting of a story, because like Sean and I did this. Like we bought the ring together because he was like very stressed about picking the right ring. So I picked it out. We had like a little virtual appointment, and then the place that we bought it from, they just opened a showroom in LA. So we went to LA, we saw it in person, tried on some different styles, and then we're like, this is the one, we're good. And then, we both work from home. So there were like, there's no secrets here because we see each other every single day. We don't
24 hours a day.
And so I work downstairs. So the FedEx man showed up. And because it's like, it's a ring, it's expensive. Like they don't just like leave it on your door. You have to like sign for it. So I signed for it because I'm sitting right here. I can literally see the FedEx man. I'm like, oh yes, come here. I know what that is. So, yeah, but like we got it. And then like, we didn't get engaged for like that first week. I got my nails done. Very important. And then, we like always go to this park in Cerritos with our dog. And so we were on a nature trail, and then he proposed to me, and now we're engaged. That's
Wait. Okay, he proposed to you. Did he get down on one knee?
Yes, he did do that. So, but I don't know really what he said because I honestly don't really remember. But I'm like the worst. But yeah,
It's
I was just like, okay, yay. So that's it.
Finally done. Yay. Check. Moving on.
Yay.
That was it. And then, and then, we had to, and then we told everybody. And so that was it. So yeah, we're excited. I literally was video calling my parents, and then my mom, like this was like 2 minutes after we got engaged, right? And then my mom was like, so when are you getting married? And I was like, I literally just got engaged 60 seconds ago. I have no idea.
But everything else is so planned out. Why not?
I know. I mean, I do have like a rough idea, but like, we'll see. I'm thinking next fall because I don't feel like, I don't know. Sean was thinking he wanted to kind of do it in the spring of next year, but then I was like, that's too quick. I need I don't know. I need time. I don't want to feel rushed. So that's what I'm thinking, but TBD.
Big wedding or a small wedding?
I don't know. Probably like...
If it's a year to plan, it's probably a bigger wedding than a smaller wedding.
It's not going to be like 10 people. I think we're definitely going to have like all of our friends and family there. And it'll be... I just want it to be like simple. Like my number one criteria is to make sure that the food is like really good. Because when you go to weddings and you're kind of like, yeah, that food was fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, no. I want it to be so good.
I think it's special when the food represents the people. I remember going to one that they had like a oven pizza thing, and I thought that was great because you could pick your own pizza and do your own thing, and they were pizza people. And then I've gone to another one that they had a food truck, and I thought, oh, that's fun. It's just different. I would probably have an In-N-Out food truck.
Oh, yes.
So that is it.
That is so
congratulations.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yay. Really yay.
Oh my. So much goodness happening. I love it. It's been a rough year and a half. And so to hear good news, getting married, and what other good things what else? Renee, anything good happen on your end?
No, I've just been working.
Yeah, but you opened one of the biggest events. That's good.
That is good.
We opened our first big event.
At the first big one.
Yeah,
in a long time.
Pretty awesome.
You should be proud of yourself. Congratulations on that.
So proud of the team and the fact that we all survived.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I've been hearing nothing but rave reviews, especially with
people
the added characters. Oh yeah.
Well, they loved it 2 years ago. So good.
So on opening night, we had lightning as one of the special effects.
Real lightning.
Yeah, people thought it was real, guys. People thought it was
funny.
Like we did it on purpose because I think there was only lightning in Anaheim that day.
Yeah, because I think I saw somebody post that and I was like, lightning? Literally, there's no lightning by my house.
Oh my God. The last 15 minutes of the park being open, and we were like, oh my God, it's like you can't make this thing up. And people were seriously oh, did you guys add lightning? Yeah, special effect, we did it. That's how good we are.
And also the event sold out within a couple of days. The moment
the event sold out within 2 weeks, I think it was.
That's
and last
crazy.
time it was a month and a half or so. So
oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very popular now. So it's just really cool. Plus, again, it's one of those offerings that we haven't had in a while, right? So I think people are just gunning for it. This is something we have to do. And who knows what Halloween is going to look like in real life. Yeah. Last year, a lot of people stayed home and did their own little things. So maybe this was their way of finding a happy medium. Plus, it's very popular. It's just popular. It's fun.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's like open. Guys, at the end, I was like, I just see the light. Let me just step into the light. I'm done. Step into the light. Anyways,
Guess who I ran into like last week? I haven't seen her in a while. Laura from Get In.
Laura.
yes.
Oh my gosh, I freaking love her so much. So I haven't seen her in a while. And, I've been going through a lot of things lately. And, of course, me not mentioning anything to her, as soon as I saw her, she like stopped for a moment and gave me like this look of concern. And then, of course, I'm a hugger. So I went in for a hug. And as soon as I hugged her, all these emotions started to like come out, and she just started tearing up because she was feeling what I was feeling. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I almost wanted to start crying because I triggered her, but she was like, girl, you are going through so much right now. Like, I'm feeling it right now. And the moment I saw you, it just like, woof, all these energies that you were omitting from your body just came shooting in. And I was just able to pick up on your vibes, and you've got a lot going on. And I was like, yeah, I do. And she immediately took off one of her bracelets, and I forgot what kind of stones they are, but they're amazing. And she gave them to me, and she said, here, I want you to wear this, because this right here will remove all the negative energy and just bring in more positive energy for you, because this is something I think will help you right now. And she gave it to me. And the one cool thing she said about the beaded bracelet was that once it falls off, it means its job is done. Like, it did what it needed to do. And so it was yesterday that I ran into her, and I'm like, look at my bracelet. Oh my gosh, it's still there, but I see like pieces of the string coming out. I don't want it to fall. I don't want it to fall. She's like, no, you got to let it do its thing. Let it fall. Let it handle its business. And I'm like, okay. But she is so amazing. There's just something about her that I'm drawn to. I don't know if it's the energy that she puts out there, but she's such an amazing person, And friends, if you haven't done so yet, y'all need to tune in to Paul and Laura with their podcast, their Get In podcast. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. Tune in. They're available. Yeah, they're available on any of the podcast platforms you listen to.
Yeah, if you listen to us, you can listen to them.
There you go. And don't forget to follow Get In with Paul and Laura.
Yes.
Well, how about
Love
you,
it.
Kimmie? Like, other than beading, what else have you done? Like, what do you have?
What? Oh, gee. Well, I took up a new hobby. I started taking up golf. I don't know if that is anything.
Wait, hold on.
I know.
The times that we've met before we recorded this cubicle chat, you've never said anything about
sports.
I never thought I'd like golf, but surprisingly, it's pretty interesting. And I was able to whack a few balls at the driving range, and so I'm slowly picking up on this new added sport. And mind you, Kimmie doesn't do sports. I never meshed with any sport, period. And so I pretty much gave up. And then one day, just started whacking balls at the driving range and realized, maybe, just maybe, this is a sport for me. So yeah.
How
I've
fun!
been diving
Oh my
into
God,
it.
we need to go. We need to go to the driving range together.
Yes, please, let's go.
In cute
Let's
little
go.
outfits.
Yes,
and
I
golf
want to get
shoes.
those cool
Please,
little.
let's do it.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Seriously, we'll make it happen.
Let's do it.
All right.
Be ready, everybody. Follow us on Instagram. We'll document this.
Oh man. So we're excited to be back and have our first episode. I really love this this episode we're gonna have today with Leslie Wong. She's just so energetic and fun. It was a good way of coming back from being away and just, taking the breather that we needed to do and getting all the things done. Because gosh, people have been busy. We've done a lot of things over the past, month and a half, 2, 3 months?
I
So-
know.
yeah.
I feel like we've been on a hiatus for a long time, but we've
long
had
time.
so much going on. I feel like,
Yeah.
just working
Busy
and
with work.
life.
Life.
been a busy time. Been a busy couple months, but yeah, Leslie's awesome. It was like she just like came in, like we've known her forever, and we were just like, oh yeah, let's just hear about your life.
Let's hear about it. And she's really, I mean, we've been trying to get her on this show for a while. So we originally thought she was going to be part of season
2.
And then we were like, oh no, we're not going to make it because she had some situations going on. and so we've got her for season 3, which I think it's a perfect way of starting the season.
Yes! Joining us today is an actress and producer creating film, digital, and commercial content for big-name corporate clients. She's also a successful YouTuber with a popular show called Pinbusters, where she tests and busts DIY ideas on Pinterest. Let's welcome to the show, Leslie Wong!
Yay!
Hi guys, thanks for having me. Welcome. We're so excited for you to be able to join us.
Finally, because I know that Leslie just recently gave birth like a few months back, but I know we were trying to get this interview in sooner. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it seems like we've been talking about this for like 6 months.
Like forever.
Literally.
Literally. Me and Renee like texting every other month, like, hey, so you want to do that thing?
And then you're like, yes, I can do it. I just gave birth 3 days ago, but I can do it. And I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah. Or I was like, well, I'm supposed to be due in 2 days, but you want to do it? Let's just do it.
That would have been so awesome.
Well, I should have just brought it to the delivery room, y'all. We'd be like, this is when they put the needle in my back and give me the drugs.
I totally thought when we were going to interview you a few months back, this is before you were admitted to the hospital, we were talking about, oh my gosh, what if she gives birth like while we're on the air? Like,
I think that would have been amazing.
That would bring this podcast show to a whole new level.
Woman gives birth on podcasts. Like, it would just
via Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, we should have taken advantage of that, y'all.
We should have. Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Oh my gosh. How is it with, the second addition to the family?
I mean, the fact that I'm awake right now is already like today's a good day. But yeah,
I was going to say, how are you doing?
I mean, again, like I want to say like props to all women out there who have children, who've had children. I mean, like it is a lot of work. Like it changes your entire world. I mean, I love my children to death, obviously. I have to say that. Like my 2-year-old is crazy. And like my 3-month-old boy, he just latched onto me, right? Like literally latched onto me like nonstop. I'm like a cow for him. Like I'm literally just a walking milk machine. And he's just constantly suckling. And I'm like, Lord, dude, like, do you ever get full? But yeah, it's been rewarding and yet very exhausting. So I'm really happy to see other adults and actually talk to other adults.
And you just also recently moved not too long ago. So from like LA, you moved to the Bay Area, right?
Yeah, I grew up here in the Bay. And I lived here up until college. And then as soon as I was done, I was like, I'm out. I'm going to go make movies. And I moved down to LA. And I lived there for 17 years before I moved back.
Wow.
Yeah. And I moved back because it just happened right before COVID. It wasn't like planned. It wasn't like, oh God, there's like an outbreak in Wuhan, China. Let's move to the Bay Area. No, it just happened because all my family is here and I'm Chinese. So I have like 300 300 relatives up here. So I said, it would be nice to be closer to family, have like constant childcare, and it just made sense. And it's been nice, but I will say the pandemic has just been, it's been really hard, right? Like you can't really, everyone's like, oh my God, like, are you enjoying the Bay Area? And I'm like, well, I haven't really been anywhere except for my house
right.
and the grocery store, an occasional park when there's not other children there. So, it's been quite an adjustment in trying to find actually find friends or even like, finding restaurants that you enjoy, like everything's so different from 17 years ago too. So it's like living in a totally different city for me.
Yeah. And I think this is probably a good moment to like take a second and share with our listeners exactly what it is that you do. Because we didn't really set the scene in this episode. We're a little rusty, everybody. Sorry, it's been a while. Leslie, why don't you go ahead and share with our listeners exactly what it is that you do? Because I think it's really cool and fun.
Yeah. Well, so what don't I do? It's always hard because like I feel like I wear a lot of hats in what I do. But I guess like the broad stroke would be just call me producer, because I produce everything from events to like video to, and I also I'm also a graphic designer, so I do a lot of graphics for the events that I actually produce. I've been doing this since like college. Like when I was in college, I was one of those brand ambassadors that would stand around and hand out gum or whatever. I'd be one of those annoying people. Like, I swear it's the most amazing gum ever. Try it, just try it. And so that's how I got into events. And like, I did internships, and when I graduated, I moved down to LA, and I was working in PR and trying to figure out a way to get into like the movie business, right? Because everyone's like, oh my God, it's so glamorous. And I did. I started out as a PA, and I got to tell you, it's not glamorous at all. It sucked. Like it was like, I mean, like you were making like $400 a week and you're working over 100 hours. I mean, I don't even know how that was legal, but somehow they did it. And I worked my way up, over the years and became a producer, and I started producing. I have like a production company that does specifically like film stuff. And then I have I do freelance production for like a lot of event stuff. And it could be anything from like, the Turner Classic Film Festival to like, an auto show, or like a virtual event for like, I just did one for Herbalife, and now I'm working on a bunch of stuff for Adobe. So it just really varies, from time to time, but yeah, I guess you could just call me producer. And then on the side of all that, like, I'm also an actress. I've been acting for a long time. I have my own little TV show on YouTube, as most actresses do, called Pin Busters, where I take like things from Pinterest, like, like hacks, like life hacks, and try to test them out live. So people are like, does it really work? Like, can you really make a car engine out of a candle? No, it doesn't really work. That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's been like kind of like a pet project. And then like my business partner and I just finished our first feature. So that's
congratulations.
Thanks. So that's in post right now. And just trying to find ways to, have a creative outlet along with all the work and everything like that, and having babies. So
yeah.
So that's me in a nutshell.
I love that. Yeah. And I definitely feel like being a producer, like you do wear a lot of hats. I feel like anybody who's on that production side of the table ends up wearing everybody's hat at some point. And you're just like trying just to balance it all, so that, we get that.
It's the unsung hero. I think that, stage management and production they just fall on the wayside. They're the foundation of whatever production you're working on, and they're obviously the ones that are running it and making it happen. But it's that unsung hero. It's the background. You're like in the back. Nobody sees you.
Yeah.
It just miraculously happens, right? The director does everything. No, he shows up like one time.
And most of the time late. They just roll in when they want to.
They have their little diva moment, and then they walk away. And you're like, okay, well, I guess we're going to move on from that. And
you mentioned earlier about a feature film you were working on. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, my business partner and I, we've done a lot of stuff, like in front of the camera, behind the camera, and everything like that. And we just felt like after all this time, we were like, we really want to make a feature of our own. So he wrote it, with one of his co-writers, and I'm actually acting in it. I'm like one of the lead female roles in it. And, it's kind of like a dark comedy / action film, if you want to say it's action. I mean, but it is funny. It's got a lot of quirky characters. It's not a, it's definitely not an Oscar contender, but like, I think it's one of those cult movies that, you might want to, sit back and drink a 6-pack of beer and smoke a joint and watch with your friends on the weekend. I mean, we're hoping it's going to like open doors for other creative things. We have other scripts like that we're waiting to make, but it all costs money. So
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens.
So let's talk about that, because I know that there's a lot of folk, including ourselves, who have these dreams of, I want to produce a film and I want to direct something like that, or I want to be in something like that. And we have these ideas. And then when you start getting down to the nitty gritty of like, how does that really work? So how do you go from the idea to actually making it happen?
Where do you even start? I will say, like, with our ideas, every time we have an idea, we try to put it on paper first and foremost, right? Try to make sense of it all, make sure it even is a funny story. I mean, I'll tell you, like, how many ideas have we actually gone through? Like hundreds of ideas of like, every kind of stupid idea you could think of, like while you're on the toilet, you're like, oh, it'd be a great movie. But like, for us to do this, it really just became like, we were actually in a financial, like we were in a better financial, like financially we were better. Like our jobs were paying a little bit more. We had some savings. We were like, what? If it takes us 2 years, let's just make this movie. And it really did. It took us 2 years, but like we made this movie. My friend, my business partner and his co-writer, they had an idea and they were like, let's just put it to paper. Who cares? Like, at the end of the day, let's just put it on paper and see if it goes anywhere. So they took a month of like just writing with each other, like, oh, I'm doing this chapter and I'm sending it to you. And then, going back and forth. And finally they came out with the script and they were like, you know what, this is fun. And like, I mean, it went through maybe 10 iterations before we finally got to a point where we felt like, okay, you know what, let's just shoot this thing. Even if it's like one piece at a time, one weekend at a time, let's just do it. But I mean, like, I'll say like, it was a lot of hard work. And at some points we were like, man, do we really want to do this? Like we're sinking our own money into this and everything like that. But like, at the end of the day, we just have to see what it is long term, right? We're just like, we're trying to create like that first stepping stone for us. We're trying to like prove to people that, hey, we could actually do this. So please hire us. Please give us money to make more. And like we did all the things everybody else does. We did the Kickstarters and all that and tried to raise money. And, we just, I mean, literally one step at a time, just nod at it. Like, here's $1,000 here. Here's $500 here, like until we were finished. And I mean, like, again, I think like it's a really fun movie. I think people will enjoy it and laugh about it, and I'll look back on it and think about, wow, my kids, were conceived during that entire time. Yeah, I mean, it's a great experience, but I encourage everybody who has a fun idea to just go out and do it, put it on paper. It's so important to put it on paper. Don't talk about it, just do it.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's easier now, like you can shoot such different things just on your phone.
Yeah.
And it's so easy. It's so much easier to like make all of that kind of stuff happen than, like even 5 years ago, 10 years ago at this point, now it's just like, let's go to the beach. I have my phone. We're going to see what happens and like post it on YouTube and maybe something will happen, and like it's just kind of, a little bit tangible, I feel like, for a lot of different people.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think like, I mean, there's been people who literally shot an entire movie on a cell phone. So, I think everyone has the resource to do it. They just have to commit themselves to it, and realize it's not going to be an easy process, but it is like, I think it's very rewarding toward, in the end, like you're going to have a product that like you worked on, that you created. And so, if you have ideas, guys, let's just do it. Me giving birth on Zoom. I mean, whatever you want me to do.
for the part 2.
That's how we boost our ratings.
We've already said the factory has been closed.
Yeah.
Now.
I know, but we might have to reopen.
I'll find a surrogate just for that part. I'll wear the bodysuit.
That's
So
it.
I guess my next question for you would be, as a producer, like when you put on that hat, what are you doing? Especially when you are, putting a film together, but also in the live entertainment, because there's 2 different worlds that you travel on, and they're both very different, but could be very much alike. So what is that like?
Oh man. Well, I will say, I think film production and event production is very different. I mean, like you use the same kind of skill sets, right? Like organization and like, like finding great resources and all that. I feel like that's all kind of like a big part of producing. Like, just like knowing who your go-to like PAs are, and knowing who like you want to hire for this and that, and understanding all the rules that go along with that, right? Like, whether it's like how much you're paying them, or what are the labor laws, all kinds of stuff. But I will say the big difference between events and film is the actual, like events, you're so much more personable. You have to actually interact with people. While I feel like with film, you're kind of like in your own containment, right? Like there's people who are grips, and there are people who are gaffers that handle like electric and lighting. And like the best thing about filmmaking is like they know their jobs. Like you don't have to tell them what to do. Like they get on set, you unload the equipment, and everyone's going. As opposed to like in events, like you actually literally have to be like, okay, I need you to do A, B, C, D, E, like you're literally telling people what to do step by step. And for me as a producer, like a lot of times in the work that I do is like, we start out with it's this kind of same idea as creating a movie. It's like you start out with an idea. Like this event is going to be an event about people coming together. For instance, that could be the theme, is like people coming together. And how do you create an event that like incorporates that theme throughout? So like, is it like in the signage? Is it the way you like register people? Is it the way you send out your invitations? Like it's all of that like creativity that goes into like making an event something special, as opposed to just like any other backyard party. Right. So that's that to me is like the biggest difference in producing an event versus a film, is that like when you're producing an event, you're actually thinking like, I have to be the audience, and like, how would I like to experience this event? Like, am I like getting out of a car and stepping onto a red carpet? Am I being bussed to a location and then like exploring this, like with just like, I don't know, like sometimes we make walkways, or sometimes we use stickers on the floor to direct you in the right direction. Like, how is that experience different from like a film? Like when you're in a film, you're like living in the film, right? You're like absorbed into the characters. You're learning all the people behind the screen. But like at an event, you actually have to talk to these people in real life. As a producer, like I have to consider all those things when I'm producing. Like, like how do I want people to experience it? And, it's the same thing with film. It's like, how do you want people to experience it? You want it to be funny, or you want it to be dramatic, or do you want it to be, a romance, or, so I guess the answer to your question is as a producer, I feel like my hat is just full. I'm just constantly trying to think of outside the box and create an experience for other people. You're just always considering other people when you're a producer, thinking about how do you want other people to perceive whatever it is you're doing, whether it is an event or a movie or something. And in a weird way, like that's how motherhood's been like, right? Like I'm constantly thinking about the future of my kids and what they need, what they want, like how do I organize their lives so that, they have the best in the future, and even just in the present, like which toy do I need to buy them so they'll be able to like, have better developmental skills, or, whatever. But, it's about, considering other people and their reactions. That's a big part of producing.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of like the the reoccurring theme that we've said over the last few seasons of our podcast is just like, in general, like creating relationships and, you know, being just a good person to be around. Like that will be, you know, the key to unlocking your success, you know, just like being a really good person and like working really hard. And I think like that, just like from the lens of like, how will your guests experience the event or the film, it like that is so important, because if people don't like it, if people don't like your event, if people don't like your film, then it's kind of like, well, you know, you learn something, but you know, it is about that experience for the audience, whoever that is.
Totally.
Leslie, I want to talk about your production company, Wing
Okay.
Entertainment. Okay.
Yeah.
So we three got our own little production company called Rikiki Productions. And underneath this production company, we've produced 2 little podcast shows. Tell us the beginnings of your business, because we're still trying to learn it ourselves. I mean, we have more like the stage theatrical experience, but you know, for you in your journey starting your own production company, how was that? How did you go about starting that?
Well, so what's funny thing, like me and my business partner, we actually his name is Jesse. I'm gonna say Jesse. It's easier to say business partner. But so Jesse and I, we actually, you know, we worked together on a film, or not a film. It was like a web series. It was like when web series became like a hot thing. Like everybody was like, "Oh, I'm in a web series," and I had a small part. I was just like a girl who died. It was like the first time I ever played a dead girl. And I remember he was the sound guy, and I was the dead girl. And I remember like it was raining and I had to lie on the floor in the rain and like, you know, eat those nasty blood capsules. And so like the blood was coming out of my mouth and like literally rain was pouring all over me. And he was like, "Hey, maybe we should get an umbrella for this girl." So that's how me and my business partner met. And he and I have, you know, we've over the years just had tons of ideas, and we've like put things on paper, like I said, and like we've like, you know, thought about like, we even like pitched some show where like I was like a host, and like I was it was called Swipe Right, and I was the host, and I literally would just go through people's profiles on Tinder and just badmouth like how horrible some of these pictures were. like who exactly are you trying to date when you're guzzling like that bottle of Goldschlager? Like who exactly are you trying to attract here? And then like things like, you know, like I don't know why everybody on Tinder has a picture with a tiger. I mean, like, who is this tiger? Like he's like famous. Like everyone has a picture with him. It's like, you know,
I would watch that.
right? But so we came up with like all kinds of crazy pilot ideas, and like I think like starting a production company requires a little bit of know-how as to like, what is your end goal? Like, you know, it's great that you want to have a production company, but like, do you want to eventually make movies? I mean, I think like when Netflix started and it was just like, you know, DVDs being sent to your house, I think like the CEO probably had this idea like, hey, you know, I've always wanted to be a movie maker, and like eventually I want to make movies. Right. Like, so we started our production company as just something to market the ideas we had, like these pilots or whatever, but also like it opened a few doors to like some more corporate clients, right? Like we did some stuff for like a candy, you know, like a candy. It was like it's like a Mexican candy, and they wanted a commercial. So we did something for them. And then like, we had, like we do Pinbusters, my YouTube show on there, you know, that's part of our production too. Like it was just really something for us to like prove ourselves, you know, as product makers, but also like, to prove ourselves, as just like a business. Like we're actually, we are real people. We're professional. You know, you can come to us with your ideas and we can make that real, you know? So I think like if anyone wants to start a production company, I think it's great to have that outlet, but you have to have like an end goal. You have to create like a mission. Like what makes our production company different from your production company? Cause like, look, how many production companies are there out there? There's like a million, right? Like everybody has a production company. But like, what is really going to be like our strong suit? And like me and my business partner, we had no idea what the hell we wanted it to be, right? So that's why we used it as a way to like to create these ideas and continue to like, okay, well, are we pitching reality shows, or are we making short films, or are we making feature films, or like, we really just had to do a little bit of everything to figure out what the hell we really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the day, I mean, we still want to do all those things. Like we realize we just love producing. Like it doesn't have to be just one thing. Like we love producing our ideas and our movies and our films. And we also love producing these like weird, like one-off shows or whatever.
Yeah. It's about content, right? I mean, content, video content, audio content.
It's so important. And I think like, as long as you have an idea, like, I think that's what's important. I think like people are always like, oh, I'm going to start a podcast, I'm going to start a video or whatever. And you're like, yeah, but what's your pitch? Like, what's going to separate you from all the other podcasts out there?
It's got to be entertainment.
Yeah.
And in these times, you just need it. I mean, you needed it before, but now it's like you
even
really
more.
need it.
Yeah, you're like at home all the time. Like, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
You need something to keep you entertained.
Even if you go back to work, I sometimes find myself just like, I just want to lie on the floor watching endless Netflix. Like, I don't want to do anything else. Or I'm like, fine, I'll do the work, but I have to set up my little iPad next to it. So at least hear something else, and just that entertainment. And reality TV just like, it takes me, I'm a listener. I like love reality TV, like all those love shows. Oh my God.
I'm all about 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
The whole 90 Day Fiance franchise. I'm all caught up.
I mean, that's brilliant. 90 Day I mean, that's, those kind of shows, you're like, those will never work. And then like people are obsessed.
They're hooked.
Right?
Guilty.
I mean, like, honestly, like who would have thought like, hey, let's like find a rich guy who needs like to date like 12 girls at the same time and see if any of them fall in love. Like who thought of that and was like, that's an amazing idea. Like,
who bought it?
Yeah, right? Like who bought it? I mean, seriously, like, or like who was like, hey, what about those people who like love at first or like married at first sight or whatever? I'm like,
that's my favorite.
But I mean, like when somebody was coming up with that idea, they were like, are people really going to do this? Are people really going to be like, hey, yeah, let's just get married. I don't even need to see the guy. Let's just get married on TV. Like, and people do, like people actually volunteer to do this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's almost like it's exploited. Like media has exploited the people's like, like people like to watch people chewing on television.
Oh God,
just like no filter.
Yep, none at all. Like, yeah, like on my YouTube show, I don't read any of the comments because I know it's I'm gonna read one that's gonna make me want to punch somebody. So like I really try to avoid like reading them because I know there's so many trolls out there that just kind of they like to put you down and then they make you feel bad about yourself. So
yeah.
Let's stick to the videos of the doggies and the cats.
Yeah, please.
And the cute babies.
And the babies hugging doggies and cats.
Oh my God. Let's talk about that. They're so cute.
No, let's talk about pandas.
Oh my God, yeah, pandas sliding and like pandas
falling off trees, clinging on their caretakers. I just want to be surrounded by pandas all day long. If this production company doesn't take off, I would like to move to China and work at one of those panda sanctuaries and just raise them,
Oh my God, yeah. I love pandas. That's like my favorite.
Oh my God, I can picture Kimmie just sitting there staring at the pandas.
I know.
That's what she'll be doing. That's her job. Staring at the pandas.
Even the pandas will be creeped out. They'll be like, there's that lady.
That lady.
What is she doing over there?
Her coworkers would be like tapping her on the shoulder. Are you going to pick up their poop? And she's like, no. There you go.
It's so true. That's when you should have a show with me. There you go.
Yeah.
So how do you balance everything between all the different hats that you wear at work professionally and then being a mom of the youngest two,
Oh my God, I know.
a husband, new life and a new location? How do you handle all that?
It's amazing to have a good support system, but also like as a professional, like I have to be totally honest with my employers, like I do try to take time out. Like, I try to say like, okay, at this time every day, I have to be not taking calls and have to be off email and stuff like that. Otherwise it's just not going to happen. I mean, like I am working, like the minute I get up, I'm on my phone checking emails. And the minute I go to bed, I'm checking my last emails. Right. But, there has to be like a certain balance of boundaries with my employers, and tell them like, hey, like I really do need this time. It's been, if I didn't have the support system I have, like, I don't think I could do it. Like I applaud women who are like way younger than me, or single moms out there are able to do it. Like, that's amazing. Like, me and my husband look at each other every night before we go to bed and like exhausted and don't even want to touch each other. And we're like, I don't know how people do it. Like, this is like, we have help. Like, we have my mom living here and we don't even know how to do it, but I'm learning, and I think like, in order to truly balance work and family is like, you just have to make time for both. And like, with your kids, like, as much as I love my work, and I tell my husband, I'm like, dude, I'm going to get fired if I don't actually like get some work done. My family has to come first, no matter what. Like I've always been a really hard worker, and that's been like my biggest flaw. When people are like, in interviews, like, what are your biggest, what do you feel is your worst, trait, or, what is the worst thing about you when it comes to your work ethic? And I'm like, well, the problem is I'm too dedicated to my work, and I don't find time for family. And I think like that, and I think like, every mother struggles with it, is trying to find the right balance, because you care so much about your children and their future and everything like that. And you want to be there for every moment. Like, I hate when I miss like, oh, my baby started laughing, or my baby, my husband feels guilty too. Like, he's not able to be there all the time because he has to work, and I think like, it's going to continue to be like a struggle, and continue to be like hard to balance. But, you just kind of have to take one day at a time and figure it out. Like, today she's in a good mood, so let's take advantage of that and not try to piss her off. We're all heroes. We're all our own heroes. I mean, whether we're moms, we're stage managers, we're, pet moms, whatever. I mean, as long, I feel like all of us who have ideas and we're actually, doing them, I think we're all heroes for that. Because there's just too many people who just let things go. And, I mean, like, we only got one life to live, y'all. We got to like really enjoy what we do and
live it up.
Live it up. Yeah. Like, for
do what
real.
you want.
I know. Be with the pandas. Be with the pandas, Kimmie.
Oh, I am there. I am there. During this whole interview, I actually did an astral projection, and I was all the way in China kicking it with the pandas. So if I was looking stoic on the Zoom camera, it's because I was temporarily out of body. But I'm back. So Leslie, thank you so much for joining us. Oh my goodness, we definitely should collaborate and create our own little show. Just say it.
Before we let you go, any final words of wisdom?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Final words of wisdom. I would say, if you have an idea, if you have a dream, just go for it. I mean, don't make excuses for yourself. Put it on paper and go for it. I mean, there's no reason why anybody nowadays, isn't able to do what they want to do. There's so much more opportunity than ever before. And I think like COVID has really opened our eyes to all of that, right? Like, I mean, how many people were working normal jobs are now like, Etsy sellers making like, license plates and stuff.
Yeah.
Candles, like, I mean, like I grew up in an Asian household, and education was super important. And, like there were only 3 professions we were allowed to have, either be a doctor, or accountant, or a lawyer. And I wasn't any of those things. I'm a total disappointment, but like I look at where I've been and what I've done. And I'll say, like, the one thing I'm super proud of myself for doing was trying everything that I wanted to try. Like, I was a publicist for a minute. I was working as a PA. I was working as I did everything that I wanted to do just to see where it would take me. And I feel like the people who, more power to you if like you knew you were going to be a doctor when you were 5, but like the people who don't know what they want to do, I think the best thing to do is to try everything.
I agree.
Yeah. Because we have a lot of opportunity, and I think people forget that. So that's my advice. That's what I would tell my daughter, and I'm scared to death that she's going to come to me one day and be like, I'm going to be an actress. I'm like, oh God, no. Oh, she is such a drama queen. She's going to be an actress. I already know it. It's so deep.
Well, Leslie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I'm happy we finally did this.
Finally.
I know. This is, it's all worth it. It was worth the wait. It was definitely worth the wait.
Well, I hope to talk to you guys all again. I mean, I'll be seeing you guys hopefully in the near future.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
When I come down south, I want to see everybody.
Yes. Can't wait.
I need babysitters. That's why.
You got 3. Like, here you go.
You got 3. You got 3.
Exactly.
Just bring the little McNuggets
that
with
could
you.
be a whole reality TV show on its own.
We'll film it.
Yeah.
That'll be our first episode of whatever filming situation that we have going on.
Exactly. I'll be like, so you guys are good. All right, I'm gonna go.
Keisa's gonna be like, no.
I don't know what to do. I don't know anything.
Like, so cute. And I'll be the one picking up after the kids.
Exactly. And Renee will actually be the one to handle it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So cute.
Well, thank you so much, Leslie. We appreciate having you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
If you'd like to learn more about Leslie's production company, you can check out their website at www.wingedentertainment.com. We'll also post their website address on our Instagram page.
Yes, and please be sure to subscribe to all of our podcast platforms so you can stay up to date on all of our latest shenanigans. And hey, while you're at it, go ahead and write us a quick little review letting us know what you think about the podcast. We love hearing from you. We post new episodes of WtFun podcast every other Friday. Thanks for listening. Bye, everyone.